And welcome back to C&C Live, day 7 of the Olympics. It's midnight in Paris, 6 o'clock in the east, 3 o'clock in the west. And once again, we are live right here on YouTube. Thanks for joining us as we recap day 7 of these Olympic Games. I'm Colin, no Charlie today. He is traveling, but he will be rejoining us for the weekend and the remainder of these Olympics. We still have 9 more days to go of Olympic action after today, going all the way through next Sunday. And we're looking forward to that. This was a great day of Olympic action today, not necessarily for Team USA. More on that in a few minutes. But before we get started, first of all, just thank you for joining us. Be sure to check us out. Check out our podcast. Right, you can listen to episodes right here on the C&C Talks YouTube channel, as well as by going to Apple Podcasts, by going to Spotify, or really anywhere else that you listen to your podcasts. You can find all of that as well at cctalks.com. Also, from that website, cctalks.com, if you go to cctalks.com/discord, you can join our Discord page and we can interact with you there. Another way for us to interact on Twitter. You can follow us at CC Talks Podcast on Twitter. You can follow Charlie on Twitter at CC Talks Charlie. So interact with us there. And then, of course, if you want to interact with us during the live stream, be sure to drop some questions or comments on the Olympic action today, or really much of anything, and we will highlight it on the screen and we will respond to it. So make sure to do that if you want to interact with us. But with that said, day 7 of the Olympics, lots and lots of medals. Originally scheduled that there would be 25 medals handed out today, ends up being 23 after 2 of the 4 sailing contests had to get postponed due to the wind, not the fact that there was a lot of it, the fact that there was almost none of it. So that ends up getting postponed until, I believe that's tentatively scheduled for tomorrow, which is also when they've rescheduled the surfing finals, although we could, again, quite possibly see those get pushed back too. The whole situation down in Tahiti is pretty it's day to day, shall we say. But that does not mean that there was not a lot of Olympic action today. In fact, this was the day with the most going on so far in the games, and that is because today was the first full day of track and field action. In addition, we had diving, we had more swimming, we had gymnastics, not artistic gymnastics. We had trampoline, the one and only day of trampoline in these Olympics. We had the usual fencing, boxing, shooting, archery, judo, all those sports that have been going on pretty much every single day. Table tennis, badminton. We actually had a medal in badminton. Finally, we had a medal in tennis. We had more volleyball, more water polo, more beach volleyball, more men's football, more handball, more hockey, more basketball, more 3v3 basketball. So really just a very, very, very busy day at these Olympics. And today on this live stream, we're gonna try to keep it relatively short. We're gonna try to be off of here by 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. So I think with that being said, we don't have any more time to waste. Let's dive right into it, and let's start with medal events today. And I think we start with rowing today. Four rowing races today: men's pair, women's pair, men's lightweight double sculls, and the women's lightweight double sculls. And in these races, as I pull up the results, it was excuse me, those are not the results that I pulled up. I pulled up the kayak results. Excuse me. There was it's a pretty good day for Greece in the boats, surprisingly. A couple bronze medals in both the men's lightweight doubles and the women's lightweight doubles. Ireland took home a gold in men's lightweight doubles. Great Britain in women's lightweight doubles. Great Britain also in the men's pair took home a silver. Great Britain known for doing pretty well in the rowing events, and we only have just a few more rowing events. We just the men's 8 and the men's and women's 8, and then the men's and women's single sculls. Those will conclude tomorrow, and then men's lightweight doubles, Italy took home the silver. Women's lightweight doubles, Romania took home the silver. Men's pair ends up Croatia gets the gold, Switzerland the bronze. I mentioned Great Britain got the silver, and then in the women's pair, Netherlands get the gold, Romania the silver, Australia the bronze. So no medals for the U.S. there. U.S. just has one medal in rowing so far. The gold in the men's 4, a truly historic race that they ran yesterday, but so far that's their only medal in the sport. Also, just in general, no gold medals for the United States today. They definitely improved their medal count. They're up to 43 medals overall, but they did not improve their gold medal count, and we'll have more on that coming up in a few minutes, especially as it relates to what happened in the pool today. Now, if you want other gold medal action, great place to turn today, be BMX racing. We had the men's and women's BMX races a couple days ago. We had the men's and women's BMX freestyle. That's essentially where the BMX riders, they do the tricks and they get judged on that. This are just that. There's no judging. It's just time. And the women's race today, Australia got a gold, Netherlands have a silver, Switzerland got a bronze. But the men's race, was truly historic today. The host nation, France, gets the podium sweep, gold, silver, and bronze. The first podium sweep of these Olympics, and so far the only podium sweep of these Olympics. Unclear if there will be any more. We normally see 1 or 2 every Olympics, sometimes a little bit more than that, but I wouldn't hold my breath on too many more. Maybe 1 or 2 in track and field in the next couple days. Some sailing medals as well. The men's and women's skiff races, these were postponed yesterday, happened today. And in the men's skiff race, it was probably good for the U.S. that it got postponed yesterday, because they were already somewhat into the finals. It was not going great for the U.S. They end up on the restart today. They get the bronze medal behind New Zealand and silver, and Spain with the gold. And then in the women's skiff race, the Netherlands get the gold. The Swedes get the silver, and then the host nation, France, gets the bronze medal. So does it for the biking, for the cycling sports, the rowing, and the sailing in terms of medals. But I believe that's still only 8 of the 23 medals that we had handed out today. So let's go to the shooting sports, shooting and archery. 50-meter rifle for the women's today. This was the U.S.'s first medal in shooting. The silver medal. So other medal for the United States in archery, the bronze medal. This is the mixed team event. Korea, the gold. Korea, really, really, really strong in archery. They've gotten the gold now in the men's team event, the women's team event, and the mixed doubles team event in archery. And then Germany getting silver. This was a good battle between the United States and Germany for the in the semifinal. Germany ended up winning the right to go into the final, where they just got absolutely flattened by Korea, 6-0, the final score, and that not close whatsoever. Other medals to recap today. Let's go judo, and let's talk fencing. Judo golds and women's judo. This is the heaviest weight class for both men's and women's today. And then tomorrow we have the mixed event, the final event in judo. But in the women's heaviest weight class, it's Brazil with the gold, Israel with the silver. Israel's gotten a few medals in judo already, and then the 2 bronzes, France and Korea. And then on the men's side, the heaviest weight class, France the gold, Teddy Riner. He was part of the torch relay during the opening ceremony. Beloved person in France. Definitely the crowd behind him. He ends up winning the gold. Korea takes home silver, and then Uzbekistan and Tajikistan split the bronzes in those events. And then in the fencing event, we had Czechia take home the bronze medal. This is the men's team epee. match, and then Hungary get the gold, Japan the silver. This was a very, very, very good final. Low scoring, but that does not mean that it was not of very, very high quality. Very close until the end. Ends up, yeah, it ends up tied. That goes to overtime. I guess is what they call it in fencing, and Hungary wins it pretty quickly from there. It's sudden death essentially, and Hungary got the first blow. Now, gymnastics today. Not typically what we see in gymnastics. No vault today, no floor today, no bars, no pommel horse, no beam rings, none of that today. Instead, this was the trampoline, the one and only day every 4 years when we get the trampoline, and it's one of the more fun parts of the Olympics, in my opinion. One of my preferred events, and China in the men's gets the bronze and the silver, a couple of really impressive routines, and then the gold medal going to a neutral athlete. These are those athletes. They're from Belarus and Russia, who are because of the invasion of Ukraine, their countries have been barred from participating. Individual athletes, not part of teams. Individuals, they can request essentially a waiver from the IOC to be allowed to participate, and the IOC will look at if they've made any sort of statements in support of the war in Ukraine, and if they have not, then they will be able to get a waiver, able to compete. This is the gold going to Ivan Litvinovich. He won the gold in the Tokyo Olympics as well. So back to back, it was a really, really impressive routine from him. And then on the women's side here, Great Britain, it's the gold. A neutral athlete gets the silver, and then a Canadian gets the bronze. Not a very good showing for the U.S. whatsoever in these events. No one even made the finals in the trampoline gymnastics. I guess their strength is just the women's team events with the bars and the beam and the floor and the vault. And then there was also an equestrian final today. This was the team jumping final, so it's 3 horses for each team, and it's time matters, but it's more about can the horse clear the bars without knocking them over, and it's essentially the least number of penalties occurred by knocking the bar over. And it was close. US gets second. France, the bronze, after they went right after the US. A heartbreaking loss for them. Knocked over 1 bar. It was the difference. And then Great Britain went last. If they had knocked over just 1 bar, the United States would have won. Did not happen. Great Britain gets the gold. Just 2 penalties the entire race. And one of those was because it took them too long to finish their routine, so they got a penalty point for being a second late. So really, really impressive stuff there. Now I know it sounds like we've gone through a lot of gold medals, and we have. Let's see, what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13. I think we've gone through 14 already. Actually, no, I think we've gone through 16 already. Trust me, we're not close to being done with the medals. So many medals today. Let's go to diving. This was the final synchronized diving event, the men's 3-meter springboard, and China sweeps the synchronized events. Gold in all 4 of them, the men's and women's 3-meter springboard and 10-meter platforms. Gold in all of them. An absolutely stunning routine from the Chinese men today. Well-deserved gold for them. Mexico, something of a surprise, but they were able to get themselves into silver, and Great Britain gets themselves into bronze. Great Britain also a medal in each of these synchronized events. However, none of them have been gold, so definitely quite a bit less impressive than what China has been able to do. Now we had tennis today, tennis finals, mixed doubles, both the bronze medal match and the gold medal match, and then the women's singles bronze medal match. That gold medal match will be tomorrow. Iga Swiatek gets that bronze medal. Somewhat of a surprise that she was even competing for the bronze instead of for the gold, but no worries. She's able to find herself onto the podium without too much trouble. But in the mixed doubles, we saw the Canadian duo of Dabrowski and Felix Auger-Aliassime pick up the bronze, and then the gold medal match. This was a great match. We ended up going to that best of 10 match tiebreaker, and it really looked like the Chinese duo of Wang and Zhang were going to win that tiebreak. They were up early, but that's the thing about these match tiebreaks. With going to 10 is it is very rarely too late to turn that momentum around if you get behind early. And the Czech duo of Siniakova and Maček get the gold here. Interesting story about these two. They allegedly just broke up a couple of weeks before the Olympics. They were dating. Unclear if they're back together. It sounds like they're not, but they're still playing mixed doubles together at the Olympics, and they won. So I don't know, but it certainly adds another element, and I guess makes it more impressive that they were able to get the win here. And then another sport that's not all too different. Badminton, gold going to China in dominant fashion over Korea, Japan, getting the bronze in the mixed doubles of badminton as that competition starts to wind down. More finals in tennis, badminton over the next couple of days, table tennis approaching their finals too. With that being said, I think that in terms of gold medals, we just have left the swimming and the one track and field medal today, and I think we start with that track and field medal. This was the only track and field medal awarded today, the first day of competition. The men's 10K on the track. I believe only one American has ever medaled in this event before. Add a second today. Grant Fisher from the U.S. gets bronze. He was close to the podium in the Tokyo Olympics. Now summits that hill, gets the bronze behind Uganda's Joshua Cheptegei, who gets the gold, and Ethiopia's Bariu Aregawi, who gets the silver. This was a close race. You would think that over the course of 10,000 meters, that these athletes would be able to separate themselves a little bit. That did not happen. The top six, all within a second of each other. Difference between first and second, 0.3 of a second. The difference between second and third, 2/100ths of a second. It was that close. The photo finish, I was unclear at first which of them was ended up getting that silver and ended up being Aregawi. Grant Fisher, he's been training at altitude a lot recently, pretty much full-time at altitude, apparently with the hope that it would really help him with those with like pushing at the end, getting moving up at the end in a pretty much all-out sprint. He was definitely able to do that today. Final lap, I think he came into the final lap somewhere around 6th place. Ends up now, again, all that's within like a second of each other, but ends up getting into that gold medal position. And then the swimming finals, this was a bad day for Team USA in the pool today. It was really bad. Let's see. Let's start with the men's 50-meter freestyle. This is where Caleb Dressel has the world record, the gold medal from 2021. 6th place today. Just awful from him. Cameron McAvoy from Australia, the gold. More Australian gold. Another Australian gold in the women's 200-meter backstroke, but we'll get there in a sec. Great Britain's Benjamin Proud, the silver. France's Florent Manodou with the bronze. But in that women's 200-meter backstroke, Regan Smith, the American, does get silver. That's been just a constant story of the Olympics in the pool so far for the Americans. Lots and lots of silver in the pool. Very rarely, though, have they been able to break through for that gold. Kylie Massey able to get the bronze in that event. And then in that other swimming event, the men's 200-meter individual medley, it's Leon Marchand. His 4th gold medal, of these Olympics, fourth individual gold medal, just an incredible, incredible feat for him. The best men's swimmer in the world, as I guess the underlying storyline is in men's swimming has been the American men have just failed. We saw it again in the semifinals of the 100-meter butterfly with Caleb Dressel, not even able to qualify for an event that he won in 2021, not able to make the finals. But Leon Marchand, the biggest story in men's swimming at the moment, especially being able to do it in front of the fans. Obviously he's French, so the Olympics in his home country, he really couldn't have chosen a better time to get all these gold medals. It's really just been an incredible scene night after night, seeing him swim, and yeah, really, really impressive stuff. Duncan Scott from Britain getting the silver here. Xun Wang, China, the bronze. So that does it for the medals, unless I'm mistaken today, but that in no way means that does it for the events today. Lots and lots and lots of other events today. Beach volleyball would be a great place to start, I think. This will mostly talk about team sports here. The American duo of Sarah Hughes and Kelly Chang, they win undefeated in the preliminary phase. They'll move on to the knockout stage, and they have a pretty easy bracket ahead of them. Now, of course, they still have to go out and win the matches, but things are shaping up well for that duo, who I think at this point you could really call a gold medal favorite. The United States also winning in 4 sets. In volleyball, the U.S. women did today. Still the preliminary phase, big win over Japan. Men's volleyball, Brazil beat Egypt. There was an incredible, incredible match between Slovenia and France, with France just able to force it to 5 sets, and then a really, really intense 5th set, close all the way, that Slovenia was able to pull out. Incredible, incredible stuff. Excuse me, it was the United States men, not the United States women, that beat Japan in volleyball today. My apologies. Water polo, U.S. women get another win, now almost guaranteed a spot in the next round. Suck football, though. Men's football today, and it was the quarterfinals. Spain beat Japan, not a big surprise. France beat Argentina 1-0. Maybe somewhat disappointing for Argentina, not a huge surprise. Egypt, Paraguay goes to a penalty shootout. I mean, I was amazed when I saw that these two teams were playing each other in the first place, because it means that one of these two teams is going to the finals, going to the semifinals, will be playing for a medal, because these are not countries that are necessarily known for being great at soccer. But this was an incredible game. Went to penalty kicks. Egypt's penalty kicks were so good, and they got the one save, which is all they ended up needing, because they pocketed every single one of their 5 penalty kicks, in an incredible performance. And been stalling on the bad news for men's soccer. The U.S. men, not just out. I mean, look, they're playing Morocco. Morocco's looked pretty good. If you had told me, yeah, they're going to lose to Morocco, yeah, I'd be like, okay, yeah, they're probably going to lose to Morocco. Oh, well. This game was not close at all. In fact, so Morocco wins 4-0. The U.S. never looked like they had a chance. Like to score. Like, they did a good job for the first 40 or so minutes, not allowing a goal in this game. Morocco ends up scoring on a penalty kick. And at that point, I was just like, what's the point in continuing to watch this soccer game? Because the U.S. never had a opportunity to score, or at least never had a good chance. It was clear from the very beginning who was dictating the direction that this game was going, and that was Morocco. The only chance that the U.S. ever had in this game was somehow, some way, preventing Morocco from scoring through excellent defense and goalkeeping and forcing it to a penalty shootout at 0-0, because the U.S. was never scoring a goal in this game. It was not going to happen, and it didn't happen. But Morocco scored 4 of them, so that does it for another disappointing run for the U.S. men. A lot of these players will likely be on that 2026 World Cup team. It would suit them well to not embarrass the country, because the United States is hosting the World Cup in 2026. And the expectation isn't going to be winning the World Cup. Of course, it's not. The U.S. is probably never going to do that. But you want to do something. You want to be able to make some amount of noise. It's unlikely they'll get group staged because of the added teams, now 32 teams, but make the knockout stage. But you want to be able to win probably at least one game, maybe even two in the knockout stage. If they can get to the quarterfinals, that's probably a great success. You've got a lot more energy behind U.S. soccer at that point. But as of now, there's no reason to believe that that's going to happen. I mean, the U.S. probably in this, again, it's the under 23 team, but a lot of these players that are on it will probably be on the national team in 2026. They got possibly the easiest team that they could have drawn in the quarterfinals, maybe Paraguay or Egypt, but up there among the easier teams they could have faced, and they lose 4-0. I mean, I'm sorry, but there's no reason to believe in U.S. men's soccer at the moment, because they have yet to prove on any level at any point that they can do, well, anything at all. We already went over time, so we're going to adjust to, say, 3:45 is when we're going to try to be done with this. Second round of golf today, and we now, at the end of it, three-way tie at the top. The American Xander Schauffele, defending champion here at the Olympics. Hideki Matsuyama of Japan. He won the Masters in 2021. He's tied for the lead. 11 under is where the lead is right now, and then Tommy Fleetwood, the other person that's up there tied at 11 under. So some great rounds of golf over the last couple days. No cut in the Olympics golf, so everyone continues play. The course is still playing quite a bit under par for pretty much everybody. And so that's going to do it for golf. The other team sports we have: handball. France able to win a game here. Actually, they looked good, maybe getting things back on track. Field hockey. On the men's side, wins for Germany, South Africa, Belgium, Ireland, India, and then on the women's side, wins for the Netherlands and Germany. And a win for the Netherlands on the men's side as well. Excuse me. We are rapidly in really competitions approaching that time where we get to the knockout stage, and that is certainly true as well in basketball. In fact, two of the groups now in men's basketball are done. The U.S.'s group, the only one that's not. Well, and they will be after tomorrow, but two of these groups are done, and here's what we know. We know that Germany blew out France today in Group B, ends up finishing top of the group. They'll advance. France will advance. Japan won't in Group B. Brazil could, but probably won't. We in Group A, the other finished group, Canada finishing 3-0. They looked good. They'll advance. And then Australia, Greece, and Spain, each with one win and two losses. Spain's out. Looks like Australia will probably go through. Greece, good chance that they're able to go through. Not confirmed yet. And then there's Group C. This group, the United States is through. That's done. The United States will go to the knockout stage. They have one more game tomorrow against Puerto Rico. It doesn't matter. I mean, you want to play well. You want to work on some things, especially since Puerto Rico is probably not that big of a threat. It's a great opportunity to just kind of build up some team chemistry. Use it like as an extra practice, because if the U.S. starts to perform again like they were doing during their showcase games, they're not winning the gold medal. So work on some things tomorrow. get the win, get yourself in a good position going into the knockout stage, and we'll be good from there. Men's bracket, not yet. No one confirmed in the bracket yet because it has nothing to do with actually who comes in where in the group. It's they do a combined ranking of the top 8 teams. Right now, the U.S. sitting in 3rd while playing one less game. So if they're able to win their game tomorrow against Puerto Rico, as they should, there's a good chance that they'll be the number 1 ranked team. They'll get to face a team possibly like Brazil, which as a team they should beat. Greece, maybe another team they should definitely beat. Possibly Serbia, possibly South Sudan. There's a few options there. But the U.S. should feel very confident of at least getting to a semifinal, just because of the way that they've been able to take care of business so far in the group stage. Now, if they lose tomorrow, things change on that and that calculus. But I highly, highly doubt that the U.S. will lose tomorrow, given the caliber of their opponent. Now, 3v3 basketball. We spent a while roasting this U.S. women's 3v3 team, and was it deserved? Yeah, it was. They started 0-3. They look bad, and they've won 3 straight. And I give them a lot of credit for bouncing back, winning those 3 straight. However, that doesn't mean that they don't still look bad. Just because they're not losing the games doesn't mean that they look like this great team. This has been really just a hideously ugly performance. It's like it has been difficult to watch this team play basketball. And I will say this. Olympian Haley Van Lith is not a statement that should exist. And she's not the biggest problem on that team. And sure, she actually had a couple good moments today. So did Ryan Howard. But the U.S. has so much talent. They can do so much better than her and everybody else on that team. And they should. There's a good article in Front Office Sports today about the troubles by U.S. Basketball and recruiting players to play 3v3. Well, you have the talent. Find a way to convince the people to come play. Essentially say, yeah, you're going to get a gold medal if you play, because you know what? If you get the 3 next best NBA players that from the U.S. that didn't make the 5v5 team, if you get them to play 3v3 basketball, then the United States is going to win that gold medal, and they're going to win it by a lot. Same thing with the women. And the fact that the U.S. is not able to do that or even get anywhere close to the 3 next best players on either the men's or the women's side feels like a huge error and something that they should be working very hard to fix. USA Basketball should. Let's see. What else should we discuss here on this Friday at the Olympics? We've talked about pretty much all of the team sports today. It was the heats in canoeing. Still somewhat early on in boxing. We'll get to medals in a few days there. I think we talked about just about every sport, except I guess we should mention real quick before we go some of the prelims in the track and field contests that took place today. So the first 5 events of the decathlon were today. Americans not in great shape, especially watching a couple of them run the 400, if running is even the word to describe it, was actually somewhat painful to watch. Then men's shot put, U.S. looking clearly pretty early like they're cementing themselves as the favorite to win that event. The defending gold medalist in the men's shot put, Ryan Croser, got himself into the finals on his first throw. You get 3 throws essentially. He was one and done. He met the qualification standard, and he is through. Same with the top women's discus thrower in the United States. Put herself in a good place, Valerie Ullman. Great place that she put herself in. Women's 800 meter, U.S. has opportunities. There's the women's 100 meter first round. Great opportunity there for the U.S. Sha'Carri Richardson looked good as ever running that heat. She'll have the semifinals and the final tomorrow, and actually it sets up a really good day of track and field tomorrow. Several finals. As I mentioned, we'll have the decathlon final tomorrow, but and of course that the women's 100 meter, but also tomorrow men's shot put final, women's triple jump final, 4x400 meter mixed relay, and this was another event that the U.S. thrived in today. World record for the United States. Granted, this event has not existed for a long time, but still, not complaining about a world record. Those things are impressive, and they got it by about a second. So really impressive performance by the United States in track and field. Would really like to get that medal count somewhat significantly higher than it's sitting at right now, but we shall see what the U.S. is able to do going forward. There's events coming up that they should definitely have success in, but for now, live stream. Charlie's back coming up this weekend and for the entire remainder of the Olympics. Of course, he was traveling today, which is why he was absent. Thanks so much for thanks so much for sticking around tomorrow. As I mentioned, not just events in track and field. Another really good day. More of Olympic action. More swimming, more water polo, archery. Obviously, track and field, badminton, basketball, 3v3 basketball, boxing, canoe slalom. We're back with road cycling, back with dressage, fencing final, field hockey, football, golf, more artistic gymnastics, some apparatus finals, handball, judo, the final event of judo, rowing, sailing, hopefully, shooting, surfing, hopefully, depends on the weather conditions in Tahiti, table tennis, a table tennis final, 2 tennis finals, volleyball, and beach volleyball. It'll be another outstanding day of Olympic action. I think that today is really when we started to get into, in my opinion, the best part of the Olympics, and that is certainly will continue from now through the end. Just 9 more days left in this competition, which means we're now 10 live streams down and 9 more to go. Check us out on Twitter, at C&C Talks Podcast, Charlie's at C&C Talks Charlie, Discord, cctalks.com/Discord. Check out our episodes right here on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, cctalks.com, and anywhere else that you listen to podcasts. cctalks.com will give you more information on all of that. But for now, the entire team of Charlie, Morris, and Zach, it's been another great day of the Olympics, day 7 of the Olympics. We'll see you right back here, same time tomorrow for day 8. I'm on. We will see you then.